Hey, welcome back in, Occupy Democrats. And it is no secret that I'd say Donald Trump's two least favorite words are lose and fault. Not a big shock. However, in this breaking story, it is my personal opinion that it is those two words, or at least one of them, that is going to wind up being the thing that brings Donald Trump down in his second term before it's over. And in this breaking story, his level of pettiness, because he hates to lose, is absolutely on display in what he's trying to do now in such a petty, ridiculously and damaging way if he keeps on pushing on it. And I'm going to show that story to you in just a few seconds, because if you don't recall, this was the settlement that happened because of his abuse and or his actions towards E. Jean Carroll.
It was against my will, and it hurt, and it was a fight.
But in a new interview with The Hill newspaper,
and, of course, Trump said this.
President Trump insists Carroll is totally lying. I don't know anything about her, adding, she's not my type.
And yet, Donald Trump wants us to believe men in general somehow will always pass on someone because they're not exactly his type, and that that's somehow a defense.
And here's what he said about a reporter who claimed he forcibly kissed her at Mar-a-Lago.
And he did it again.
It's not the first time Mr. Trump has tried to use his accuser's looks as a defense.
She is a liar.
Here's what he said about a woman who claimed he groped her on a plane.
She would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
And said it in a deposition.
You were referring to her physical looks, correct?
Just the overall. I look at her, I see her, I hear what she says. You wouldn't be a choice of mine either, to be honest with you. I hope you're not insulted. I would not, under any circumstances, have any interest in you.
Lose and fault.
You're saying Marla's in this photo?
That's Marla, yeah. That's my wife.
Which woman are you pointing to? No.
Here.
The person you just pointed to was E. Jean Carroll.
What's happening is they're doing this for election interference. And I swear to, I have no idea who the hell, she's a whack job.
And yet this is a man who has made probably $4 or $5 billion now, far beyond the emoluments clause in his presidency, taking money from the position he holds as president. He also lost a case in the state of New York that he can't pardon anyone for, to the tune of $500 million. And while the verdict stood, they actually appealed it and he didn't have to pay the money. But Donald Trump is so petty and so, I think, stupid when it comes to the concept of losing or something being your fault, that he's actually weaponizing and trying to use the Supreme Court for something as absurd as this. Take a look at this breaking story over the Supreme Court and the President of the United States demanding they treat him with special care right here. Breaking news. Trump begs Supreme Court to toss his $5 million abuse case. President Donald Trump has asked the Supreme Court to overturn the $5 million sexual abuse and defamation verdict won against him by advice columnist E. Jean Carroll, CNN reported on Monday. In quotes, there were no eyewitnesses, no video evidence, and no police report or investigation, said Trump's appeal to the High Court. Instead, Carroll waited more than 20 years to falsely accuse Donald Trump, who she politically opposes, until after he became the 45th president, when she could maximize political injury to him and profit for herself. Carroll has alleged that Trump raped her in a department store in New York City in the late 1990s. Although she does not recall the exact date, Trump has categorically denied these claims and asserts she is fabricating the story either to injure him or to advance her own career, which formed the basis of Carroll's lawsuit for defamation. A jury found Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation in 2023. The matter has since been in and out of appeals in various courts. In quotes, whether the Supreme Court takes up the case is yet to be seen, but it likely won't be in the last time the justices are asked to review litigation involving Carroll, noted CNN. A different jury found Trump liable for defaming Carroll for repeating his statements in 2022 and ordered him to pay $83 million in damages. A federal appeals court panel affirmed the damages award, finding it reasonable in light of the extraordinary and egregious facts, and rejected several of Trump's legal challenges. Additionally, finding the Supreme Court's controversial ruling on presidential immunity last year did not apply to civil cases. All of this is distinct from a $500 million civil fraud judgment New York Attorney General Letitia James won against Trump. A state appellate court tossed the damages out, meaning he doesn't have to pay the money, while affirming the verdict. That decision is set for appeal. That may not be staggering to you, but I'm just sharing with you right now. On November 10th, 2025. Extrapolate that out over the next 6, 9, 12 months, and how many times Donald Trump, because of his behavior, his actions, his hubris, his arrogance, is going to be forced to have to face losing or something being his fault, either current, recent, or long ago, like, I don't know, the Epstein files. But because he loses his mind, because his daddy trained him to never admit fault, to never say you're wrong, to always point the finger and blame somebody else, or in Donald's case, settle out of court and file bankruptcy 6 times, I believe lose and fault is going to be the downfall of Donald Trump when he chases the Supreme Court over $5 million. You guys like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay frosty.